Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Monday Marketing Minute. And today, because I have a special guest with us, I have special guest Sherril Porterfield. I have decided to broadcast this video in 3 separate places. So as you jump on, as you join us today, say hello in the comments. Let us know that you're there so that we can share some love for Sherril. We can share her incredible comeback story today. Hello, Grace. Thank you so much for jumping on. Say hi. Give me some love hearts. I see a bunch of you on already, which is very exciting. I met Sherril a few months ago, and one of the things that I asked her was, tell me a little bit about yourself and your story. Hi, Giselle. How are you as well? And hi, Christy. I've got Facebook user. I'll see if I can pop this up too so that we can say hello to people. Hello, Shirley. Oh, we got a great crowd. Well, when I met Sherril, I asked her to tell me her story, and I was just floored. It was such a powerful story of somebody who is so strong, so persistent, and so on top of everything, because I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to let her share in a minute. So positive and uplifting. Hello, Delroy. Hello, Ursula. Hi, guys. So many great faces on here today that I said to her, would you be willing to come on my show and share this message? Because I know entrepreneurship can be challenging. It can be hard and it can be a struggle. And I wanted you to share with our audience today a little bit about your story and give some nuggets of inspiration and positivity that you share so well. So without further ado, this is my special guest, Sherril, and just tell us a little bit about your story and your journey.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you letting me be here today. Oh my goodness, my story is kind of crazy. And I was a nurse for 25 years, absolutely loved my job. I was a consultant. I traveled all over teaching people and just doing what I loved. And one Saturday night, our family decided to go out to dinner. And we went to a place we ate at all the time. We sat down and ate. And about halfway through the meal, all of a sudden, I don't remember anything else. This heavy lantern fell off a really high shelf and it hit me on the head. It kind of knocked me out real briefly. And so my husband is, like, we've got to get out of here. Of course, the restaurant is like, you've got to get out of here. And I just kept saying, my head hurts, my head hurts. So we went home, and a little while later, I started getting worse. I started vomiting, and my headache got worse. My husband's like, okay, we're going to the hospital. So we did, and, they did the typical x-rays, and like, it's just a concussion. You're going to be fine. I'm like, okay, that's good.
Right. Relief. Yay. That's awesome, right?
That's okay. Give me a few weeks. That's great. Well, a few weeks ran into over 7 years now that I've lived with chronic headaches. Things have gotten better, though, thankfully. But it was really a struggle. I spent about 4 years not able to function very well, which was hard for me. I mean, I am a lifelong student. I love to learn. I have graduate degrees, advanced certifications, all these things. And all of a sudden, I was a stay-at-home mom that on a lot of days I couldn't get to the bathroom by myself. Somebody had to help me. My child had to help me. I'd always loved to cook. I couldn't cook because I couldn't follow a recipe. I tried to do stuff on the computer and I would mess it up. And, one day I decided to help my husband pay bills, and he was not happy when he got home. He's like, please don't do that anymore. So it ended up being an absolute nightmare that, we went from this great, wonderful life within minutes to changing. And so you never know. That is one thing I like to encourage people about, having a positive attitude and living each day to the fullest, because you don't know. But I started when my headaches got a little bit better. I had 25 migraines a month a lot of times. And when I got where I could get up and get to do some therapy, they said, oh, well, you need to get on social media. And I'm like, I don't think so. What am I?
Of all the things.
What share my life with you? I'm so positive because at that point I had gone from a very, very upbeat, positive person to the just horrible depression and anxiety and lots of stuff just from not being able to leave the house and not, all of that. So anyway, my balance was bad. I couldn't drive. My dad was driving me everywhere. I had speech and memory issues. And like I said, technology, when I tried to do things on the computer, it was a mess. And so I'm like, well, I can look at social media, but I'm not going to get on social media. So I was a stalker for a long time. And you'll see gaps on my social media for a lot of years. There's nothing. But I liked seeing what other people were doing. And I started seeing people were doing all these businesses online. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool, but I can't do that. And so then my occupational therapist told me one day, she's like, you're struggling with your speech so much. I want you to start doing Facebook Lives. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Wow.
No, I'm not doing that. Now, before I could get up on a stage in front of a room full of people and speak at a conference or whatever, and it was so easy. I didn't get nervous. I would just get up and I could talk. Not anymore. It was just getting out what I needed to say a lot of days. I couldn't get my words out. I'm like, oh, Facebook Lives, no, not me. And so, but I started watching people do Facebook Lives. And I remember I would send them a message or call somebody I knew. I'm like, how did you do that? What are you doing? And so I would just start taking notes and start watching and thinking, maybe one day, but no, I can't do this. But anyway, the therapist pushed me to do things, beyond what I wanted to do. And I don't know, I was just really searching for a new identity, but feeling so bad. But I knew one day I would get feeling a little bit better and I needed to find something I can do. So that's kind of my story, what all happened. And it's
so fascinating. One of our audience members, I can't see the name because you guys, if you haven't given your permission to StreamYard, it just comes up as Facebook user. But this person said, oh my gosh, your doctor gave you coaching. And I love it because here is a doctor. Here is somebody who you had been someone taking care of everyone else, right? You'd been a nurse, you'd been the human doer, the caregiver. And now suddenly those roles were reversed. So let me know in the comments if you guys have ever been in a situation. Give us some love hearts if you can relate to this, where you thought you had it all figured out and something happened in your life, some road bump, and the roles were reversed. Maybe, oh, it's Sarah again. For whatever reason, Sarah, StreamYard never likes to tell me who you are. So thank you. Maybe it was going through, and you don't have to share the instance. Just let us know. Put yes if you've been in that situation. Maybe it was, a divorce. Maybe it was, you lost your job and you had to start over again. Maybe it was, a situation with your child or something where roles became reversed and you had to really see the world from a whole different way. Like and guys, give us the love heart emoji in the comments below if you're listening to what Sherril's saying and then you're listening to how clear and how well she presents herself on camera now. This was somebody whose doctor had to tell her to do Facebook Lives and she was horrified. She was stalking people on social media. She didn't want to do the Facebook Live. So you started doing Facebook Lives, I'm guessing. And you started seeing people doing these online businesses. So was that kind of what drew you in? Was it this return to social media that drew you in to think, oh, maybe I could do online marketing as a business now?
It was very intriguing to me. And I got thinking, when I can do something, I've got to do something I can do from home. If I get in front of the computer for too long, it's going to trigger a migraine. So I need something I can do in bits and pieces. And I want to do something that I can help people, right? So, yeah, that was the initial intrigue. And that was kind of in the back of my mind. And about 3 years ago, we moved to St. Louis. Boy, talking about, I'm dealing with all these other things. We move across the country. We don't know anybody. Here we are. And so social media actually was a great outlet to keep in touch with people and find new people to communicate with. I didn't know about attraction marketing then, unfortunately, but just making these connections really showed me how I can connect, and people don't think I'm weird because I've had a brain injury.
Yeah.
That's part of the stigma, because I was a nurse in a rehab hospital for a lot of years and dealt with brain injury. And I didn't even tell my story for a long time because I was so embarrassed. I was so self-conscious, would not go back to where I worked to do rehab because I didn't want anybody to see me like I was. Even though I looked fine, it was, emotionally, psychologically, my speech and everything. But a friend of mine sent me some products, and she's like, I know you're going to think this is weird, but try them and just help. And I'm like, we travel the country. We spend a fortune seeing doctors. They all want to give me pills. I'm sick of medicine. So I'll try it. Well, come to find out, they were pills that are not pills. They were things that actually helped me mentally. They helped my mood. They helped me feel better. Thanks. And I thought, he's got a business doing this. Maybe I can do that. And so I actually kind of jumped in, got my feet wet in online marketing a little bit. But boy, was it frustrating. I was making connections. I burned through my warm market so fast. Now you realize, I had not had contact with a lot of people in over 4 years. And so they don't want to hear from me out of the blue saying, hey girl, we went to high school together. Do you want to buy? But so I wasn't really spamming, but I didn't know how to make these leaps into what the company was saying to do, because it just didn't click. And so I, got into starting this business. I'm like, I'm going to do something different. Well, I took a class, a social media class, that pushed me beyond my limits. We learned about chatbots. We were doing Facebook ads, and I was spending a fortune on Facebook ads. And my husband's like, "Oh, we're done. Stop."
Yeah.
Any customers? We're not going to keep doing this. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, because a lot of people, they get into this, and there is this misperception in the industry, and I don't know if it's companies want to tell you this because they're afraid, if they are honest, that people won't want to do it. But, there's a lot of this like, oh, it's easy. You're just going to get two who will get two who will get two, and you'll have a great business and a team. So I love that you said, there were some initial challenges. Like I burned through my warm market. Then I was doing things which, by the way, guys, chatbots and ads, that's all, that's a higher advanced level stuff. Like, until you have dialed in what problem you really solve for people, and until you're really clear on how you're going to help them and your message to market, throwing a bunch of money behind ads, like Sherril mentioned, doesn't get you very far. So what kind of turned that around for you, besides your husband putting the kibosh on the ads?
And he's been so supportive. He's like, anything you want to do to, relearn things and all, I'm all for it, but it's like, no more Facebook ads. So, the best thing that happened to me is my friend Tanya Smith, who's on here probably today. I don't know. She said,
we love Tanya.
We went through some programs together, and she called me one day. She's like, I don't know if this will be of interest, but I have learned about this thing called attraction marketing. It is amazing. And it's so simple. It's not like what we've been doing. I'm like, oh, simple. I'll take it. And she introduced me to attraction marketing, and I could just kick myself for wasting time before, for nobody telling me how simple it can be to build those relationships and then to build a business that way. And oh my goodness, it's been life-changing. I've met you through that, and now I'm fortunate enough to have you as a coach right now, which is really fun. But all of that, making the connections, building relationships, was something I could do, and I could do it in chunks of time when I felt good and can do it, and it wasn't interfering with family life and all. And from there, I was able to combine my love for helping busy moms build a business, but include the healthy lifestyle piece that I really love. And I can use a lot of my nursing skills with this. So that's been really, really fun.
So for our audience that's listening, type I in the comments if you are a fan of interaction marketing or if you've heard of it. And type help me if you don't and you need some help learning attraction marketing, because we can help you out with that, because like Sherril said, these other things, once you dial that in, once you know how to connect with people quickly, once you know and have the right message to right market, and she wants to help moms live their healthiest, best lives and to be able to make money and be home with their kids, build a business from home. And you really, once you have that message to market, then you can start putting the ads and the things behind it. But until then, you'll just be throwing money and lining the pockets of Zuckerberg. I better be quiet so I don't get kicked off of Facebook, guys. But and I spend money on ads. I've spent money on ads. I'm going to be spending some more money on ads soon. But I'm years into my business before I really had that honed in order to start doing this. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing I. So you're talking to your people here. Well, I'm so glad that all connected for you and you're really starting to see that come together and build and really create some momentum. One of the things Sherril and I were talking about though recently is that she said at the beginning she couldn't even follow a recipe before. And we've got something very special for you today, not marketing related, but I think you're really going to be pleased. So stay here with us for a minute. She went from being somebody who was having trouble following a recipe to, remember, she was practicing these Facebook Lives and she was still passionate about living a healthy lifestyle. And so she's continued to be this just incredible cook. And today she has something very, what am I trying to say? Awesome for you guys. So share it with us. I just put up a banner so that you can put turkey in the comments. But Sherril, tell us what you have for everybody here today, because this is one of your other passions.
Absolutely. Lindsay said, I love to cook. I love teaching people to cook healthy recipes, to come up with lean and healthy recipes that taste really good. Because a lot of times when you have these healthy recipes, they're not so good, right? But okay, so I have been doing a lot of research and pulling together for our family a recipe book for Thanksgiving. And we've got actually 25 recipes that come up with, pulled from different places. They're family approved and tried, but these are things to lighten up your Thanksgiving dinner, because the average Thanksgiving dinner is 3,000 calories without dessert or drinks. So the average when you add desserts and drinks is a whopping 4,500 calories for the one meal. Oh, that is a lot of running and aerobics. And we're all dealing with a COVID-10 plus right now. Who wants to add more at Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. So I'm excited. I have got today 5 recipes for you guys that we are going to release from my book that we've been working on for our family. One of them is a healthy green bean casserole. The green bean casserole without all the cream and mushroom soup and all the high calorie stuff. So we've got a really good recipe for that you're going to get. I actually have, there's a breakfast recipe, a healthy breakfast casserole recipe that you make the night before or a couple days before and stick it in. We love to do that for breakfast and then have a later lunch. That's just kind of our thing. But, and then there's a healthy turkey recipe. There is a dessert recipe and one more. I can't think what it is. But anyway, there's 5 recipes that I'll share with you, and I'm just excited. Let me know what you guys think. But this has been really fun to try to lighten things up and not have all it was a carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Come on, guys. I see turkey. Shelly wants it. Shirley wants it. Oh, yeah. And there's no in here, guys, no tofurkey in here. Like, she's telling me about these recipes she's put together, and she's got like a mini pecan pie in there. I said, I love green bean casserole. She goes, that one's in there. I'm like, oh my gosh, count me in, because It is a delicious meal, but that meal is a lot of work. I love that idea of the breakfast casserole, because who wants to be making something that morning and then having to do all the stuff later that day? So Miss Sherril Porterfield is a lady of many talents. You guys are going to want to get your hands on this recipe guide for sure. Yeah, carrot cake. We're getting some exclamation points on the carrot cake here. Well, you guys, I am so glad that you got to join us today. I really hope that this story inspired you, because if somebody who can come back from a brain injury, from massive migraines, from not being able to do anything by herself, basically for 4 years, and then find social media, get on there, start doing Facebook Lives. There's no excuse if you're not pushing that go live button. I wanted you to hear this story today. She's building out a business to help moms to be able to be home with their kids and live their healthiest lives. And this, if nothing else, should inspire you to go out there and take some action today in your business. Don't forget to grab this recipe book. I'm so grateful that we had you here today. Thank you so much, Sherril, for being on the show. I can't say enough. It's been such a joy and a privilege to get to know you and to watch your business just get run with it.
It's my pleasure to be here. And if I can do this, any of you guys can, honestly.
So awesome. So awesome. Thank you guys. We're signing off. Take care.
Bye-bye.